Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Over the last year, I have really been focusing on decluttering my house, and I have continued on with that journey into 2025. I feel like as I have decluttered each space and each room, I have now been inspired to get new organization systems and just make each space a lot more functional. On top of that, I also try my best to stay on top of my daily cleaning and make sure that I am deep cleaning each room and space as needed. I am a mom to three kids and I also have two dogs, so the messes and the clutter truly feel never ending around here. I have made so much progress and I am really happy with everything that I have accomplished so far. Today's video is going to be a compilation of some of my most recent videos, taking you along for the journey. This video is 3 hours of deep cleaning, decluttering, and organizing, so there is truly something for everyone in this one. If you are new here, welcome. I am so happy that you found this video. My name is Aleah and I do post new videos every single Friday here on my channel, and I would love for you to subscribe down below if you do enjoy content like this. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. Pop this video up on your phone or your TV if you are wanting to get some cleaning done along with me. I hope you find this video super motivating and it makes you feel like you are catching up with a friend while getting your to-do list tackled. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. We are tackling my playroom today, and I am hoping that this is the last time I am going to have to reorganize this room from top to bottom. I am so over these fabric bins, so we are finally going to be replacing these, and my new organization system that I am going to be doing today, I already know it's going to work so much better. It is also the end of an era, and we are getting rid of this dinosaur bookcase that I have had since Gray was a baby, and I am really sad. I'm gonna miss it, but I am really trying to maximize the space in this room, and it is just no longer needed. To start the day off, I am going to be cleaning this half of the room, and then we're going to be moving the couch because I'm sure you guys already know it's a disaster underneath. I actually think this is the worst it's ever been. I have never been nervous to share underneath my couch, but today takes the cake and it's a little embarrassing how bad this has gotten. So we are going to be starting the day off with that, but I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I am really excited for this one. This was a major project I had on my list that I wanted to complete before Christmas, and I am so happy to finally have it done. These couch pieces are extremely heavy and they do also lock together, so I always need Justin's help to get them apart and get them out of my way because it is just not something I am able to do myself. But you might be looking at the mess and thinking it's not as bad as I made it sound. But the major problem area is definitely this area here. This is where the kids always sit, and I honestly don't even understand how so much stuff accumulates underneath the couch. I think a lot of it falls through the cracks and just drops onto the floor because it is really bad this time. I had people in my last playroom video saying I must have staged the mess, and looking at this mess, I can see why someone might think that, but there is no need for staging a mess in this house. I have 3 professional mess makers that are my children, and this is what I was left with this day. To start, there were a few dishes underneath here, so I'm just collecting all of those to bring down to the kitchen, and then I'm going to start collecting all of the garbage. This was majority garbage. I kept a few things like the magnet tiles and some of the little people toys that managed to find their way under here. But for the most part, I did decide to get rid of almost all of this. I feel like if it has been sitting underneath the couch for months and no one has asked for it or has been looking for it, it is probably safe to get rid of it.
You hear them calling, shouting your name. Turn up the collar and walk away. Feels like you're falling, now who is to blame? Wishing you'd only be more like them. Over and over, you cry yourself to sleep. And you're colder, much colder. If only you could see. Don't you know that you're beautiful?
I have decluttered this room quite a few times, and each time I do it, I always feel kind of guilty throwing away certain items because they technically are still good, but they're not worth donating. They are little pieces to a set we used to have, or there's only one left of a certain toy item, and it's just not worth the donation process because it wouldn't be good to anybody, but it still makes me feel guilty throwing it out because it is money we have spent. But I will say, whenever I do a declutter, I can never remember what I get rid of. There is never one item that is missed. I can never think of one thing that I threw in the trash that maybe I shouldn't have. And that tells me it was time to get rid of it. We don't need it in this house. And I am really trying to declutter my house, especially the playroom before Christmas.
Than they will ever be. Don't you know that you're beautiful? Just the way you are, just the way you came. Don't you know that you're beautiful? No matter what the scars, no matter what they say, and we'll shout it out louder, prouder. Ain't no one gonna hold us down, 'cause you know that we're beautiful. Just the way we are, we're beautiful. So don't go changing. You're perfect as you are, just the way you are. Keep on.
So this is what my carpet was looking like after I picked all of the larger pieces up. There was still a lot of smaller items and dust and crumbs and dirt on the carpet. So I am going to grab my Eureka vacuum and put this thing to work cleaning up the rest of this mess.
Just the way you are, just the way you came. Don't you know that you're beautiful? No matter what the scars, no matter what they say, and we'll shout it out louder.
I am always looking for new and fun traditions to start with my family during the holiday seasons, so I would love to get some ideas from you guys. So please let me know down below what your favorite family tradition is that you do every single year, whether that be something you eat for breakfast on Christmas morning, or something you do on Christmas Eve, or something special you do during the day on Christmas. I would absolutely love to hear it and maybe implement some of those traditions into my own household. Like I said, I just want to add some more traditions and do some things that the kids will always remember and always know that we're going to be doing. I just feel like the traditions are what makes the holiday seasons feel so special.
Why I think about you. It was only one night, only that time, and it's not my style to be caught up in the middle like this. 'Cause now I dream about you. I was probably too drunk.
Before moving the couch back to where it belongs, I am just quickly going through and wiping down the walls and the baseboards. They were surprisingly dirty. The wall had a ton of streaks on it, I'm assuming from the kids' hands, and then of course there was quite an accumulation of dust on the baseboards. I'm usually a little nervous when it comes to washing and cleaning the walls because I find you can actually leave them streakier looking than before you clean them. But I did use really hot water and some Dawn dish soap, and they cleaned up beautifully. I used to use magic erasers for this kind of stuff, but I always found that they left a residue behind. Even after I wiped them down with a cloth afterwards, they just looked kind of messy.
I wish I didn't want you. I was doing just fine the way that it was. Then you hand me these emotions, didn't want them, but I guess that I'm stuck with them. They could go away, but I know they won't, and I should let it be. But I'm gonna dive into you, and maybe I drown, but what can I do?
I wasn't sure if you could tell from these clips, so I wanted to do a close-up here, but we have gotten so much snow in the last week. We actually accumulated, I think, 16 inches over the course of 2 days. It has been a very snowy winter for us. I love it before Christmas, but the second Christmas is over, I am ready for it to be summer again.
It doesn't even make sense.
I feel like the voiceovers aren't really picking it up, but I am losing my voice a little bit. I have been so sick over the last 3 or 4 days, and each day I am waking up thinking I am going to feel better, and honestly, I feel a little worse. I am very fevered, I have chills, I have body aches, I have a cough, my chest hurts, so I think I might be coming down with a chest infection or something along those lines. I'm hoping things turn around soon, or I will just make an appointment with my doctor because it is the holiday season and it should honestly be illegal for moms to get sick at any point, but especially around the holidays. I practically did not leave my bed the entire weekend, and it was kind of nice that I did get sick over the weekend, so Justin was home to hang out with the kids and maintain the house, but it's just never ideal, and I'm hoping to feel better soon.
Acting surprised, but I know I'm not over you. Keep missing our fights, even though they're so overdue. We had a fire.
I purchased these bins from Walmart, and I believe they were $8 to $10 a piece. I can't remember the exact amount, and I will also be taking that white sticker off of them, but I just did not have the time or patience to do it this day. I will also be labeling these bins in the future. The only reason I didn't tackle that today as well is because I am going to wait until after Christmas, because I do know the kids are going to be getting certain things and some new toys. I might have to purchase some new bins, but I know some of these things might switch around a little bit.
It tastes like demons in my mind. Demons pushing all my triggers, losing my pride. But I guess that's what love do to people like us, struggling to come through. We had a fire that we watched it burn. Not enough time, not enough time. I'm falling behind. I hate to separate my body and mind. My body and mind.
Mac is still very much a puppy, even though he's a giant. If you are new here, Mac is our 1-year-old Borbal, so he is a Mastiff, and he is 140 pounds, which is ridiculous. I honestly didn't know he would get that big, but he is just a ball of energy. As you can see here, he just wants to play, so I ended up having to kick him out into the hall with Zeke because there was no getting any toys organized with him around.
Pushing all my triggers. Demons pushing all my triggers. Demons pushing all my triggers. I'm acting surprised, but I know I'm not over you. Keep missing our fights. Think I'm losing my mind. but I guess that's what love do.
I have decluttered this room quite a few times in the past. I believe this was probably my fourth time going through the entire room and all of the toys, and I usually do it by dumping out the toy buckets and just going through them one at a time. I feel like this is the easiest way, and it just feels a lot less overwhelming than having a huge pile of toys in front of me. But as I was going through each bin, I was actually feeling quite proud because there is so much less toys in here than there used to be. It used to take me so long to do this playroom. It was an all-day thing, but it actually only took me about 2 hours to do this entire toy declutter and organization. So it just feels really good to actually be able to see the progress and know I've made a huge dent in our toy collection.
Wide awake is the way that you left me, side by side in your car in the backseat. Wide awake is the way that you
Hot Wheels tracks are one of the toys that I am just not ready to part ways with yet. My kids will occasionally take these out and spend the entire day playing with them. So they do still get used, but definitely not on a daily or even a weekly basis. So I am just going to store these in the closet for when they do want to play with them, because I am just not ready to get rid of them because I know it's something they are going to ask for, but it's not worth them having a spot on the shelves with all of the regularly used toys. A lot of the toys that I am going to be throwing in the garbage, I am just sticking in these bins. Some of these are going to be donation, but I just wanted to make a pile so it was all together. Anything that I am throwing out is either broken or missing pieces, or it just can't be passed on. I do try and donate anything I can, so don't worry, I am not throwing out good toys, especially around Christmas when I know people would love to have them. But I do end up donating quite a few things, especially the little people toys. Those have been such a huge hit in our house, but Quinn is the last to play with them and they are slowly making their way out, which makes me really sad because those are actually some of my favorite toys that they have played with as well.
I think that I'm going to hiding somewhere by a gate.
I could not tell you the last time I wiped these cubbies out, so I am just using Pledge and a microfiber cloth to give them a really quick wipe down.
I could be the one who saved you from this hard place. We could be as one and we'll escape. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns.
We have only been using these bins for probably about 5 days, and I can already tell you guys I like these so much better than the fabric bins. They may not be as aesthetically pleasing in the little cubby holes as the fabric ones were, but they are much more functional for us. I love that they are see-through, so Quinn, Rowan, Gray, they can all just see exactly what's in them. Like I mentioned, I will be labeling these, but for now they are unlabeled and they can still tell what's in each one. I also like that they have lids and they can just grab one and go, even if they want to take some of the toys to their rooms. It's just an easy process, a quick cleanup, and I think this is going to work really well for us.
We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns inside me. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. Trust me, I won't let you down. I won't let you down. Yeah, I won't let you down. I won't let you down. Oh, I won't let you down. Some gates never get to open 'cause it's too late. I could be the one who.
So now we are going to be clearing off this bookshelf so we can get rid of it. And this was not an easy decision. It was actually really sad. I do not want to get rid of this bookcase. It holds a lot of special memories to me. I painted this when Grayson was 1, so we have had it his entire childhood, and then of course the girls grew up with it. It might seem kind of silly, but I'm sure if you're a mom, you have items like that in your home, but there is just no longer a need for it. My kids never really reach for these books. A lot of these books are for younger kids, but I am going to keep them because of course Quinn is only 3 and she is slowly getting into reading and wanting to read and going through the books, but there is more than enough space for these books on the toy shelves. So this will free up a lot of space in this room, and it's a sad day, but it will be nice to have a little bit more of an open space.
We've been through a lot, holding hands while screaming at each other. And I don't know how to stop, but I still love you like I do. It breaks my heart, no text, no calls from you. Without you, could shape this up, you're not that tough.
I ended up thinking it looked really good with the books underneath this little bench, and honestly, I am happy with the entire area and all of the changes that I made this day. I think it just suits the ages that my kids are at, and it just elevates the space a little bit more. Those fabric bins were looking a little rough. We've had them for about 3 years, so it was time for them to go.
Everything I did this time. Everything I did this time. Everything I did this time.
I did have this bookshelf anchored to the wall, so I am just quickly taking out the screw so I can take this out of the room and just put it in the hallway until Justin can move it downstairs for me. We are also getting rid of the artwork above this dinosaur shelf because they do go as a set, but I am leaving this hung up until somebody decides to buy it because I don't want it to get broken, and it is probably safest staying on the wall.
Text, no calls from me. I thought I could shake this off, but I'm not that tough with you. So run away with me, come home with me tonight. Run away with me, it'd be worth the time. Run away with me, I'll make you feel alright.
of these toys off to the left, I am going to be taking to the donation center, and then all of the stuff in these two bins is going into the garbage. Some of these might look good, but a lot of them have either been chewed by my dogs or are broken or missing pieces, and they just were not worth donating. That is going to be it for today's Playroom declutter and organization video. I am so happy with how it looks. Little changes can really make a big impact, and that is exactly how I feel in here. This is the perfect setup for us, and I feel like this just sets us up for a fresh start with Christmas right around the corner. I feel pretty good where my entire house is at when it comes to being decluttered for the new year. I'm not sure if I will have another video up before the new year. Like I mentioned, I am not feeling my best. I am hoping that I might be able to get one more video out, but if not, I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you so much for all of the support you have shown my channel this year. I appreciate each and every one of you so, so much. I cannot even begin to describe how thankful and appreciative I am towards all of you, and I will see you all soon with a new video. Bye, guys. Hello, you guys, and welcome back. We are going to be continuing on with decluttering and organizing today. We are going to be tackling some of the drawers and cabinets in my kitchen that are just so messy and overflowing. We just have way too much stuff in a lot of these areas, and it's been driving me nuts, so I decided today was the day that I am going to be tackling it. I did also purchase some new organizers and acrylic containers for different areas, and sometimes that just makes all the difference in how a space looks and functions. So if you have a space that you have maybe been neglecting, even if it's just a drawer or maybe a closet area, put this video up and let's get it tackled together.
So far away, though you're close. Where's your mind at? I wanna know.
So of course, after I empty out each area, I am going to be giving it a quick clean and wipe down before we put everything back into the cupboard. I am also going to be donating a lot of the stuff because we just don't need 30 water bottles and 45 coffee mugs. It's just unnecessary, and I honestly don't even know how we accumulate so much stuff. I purchased this water bottle organizer off of Amazon. I will try and remember to link it in the description box if you are interested, but I just thought this would be perfect for all of the kids' water bottles and just make the cabinet look a lot more organized. So the organizer did end up being slightly too tall for my current shelf height, so I did end up just bumping this bottom shelf up a little bit to make room for it. I feel like when a new year rolls around, I am always excited and motivated to get my entire house in order. You would think going through my house all of last year and slowly decluttering and organizing different spaces, I would be all caught up, but that could not be further from the truth. I feel like there is constantly a cycle of needing to declutter from things that we just accumulate over the year. That is definitely a part of decluttering. I truly feel like it is just never complete. There is always something to be worked on around my home, especially with 3 little kids. I feel like with their ages and how quickly they are growing, and with their interests and needs constantly changing, there is always something to be cleaned, decluttered, or organized.
But underneath, I know you're hiding something. Do you let anyone get under your skin? I just wanna get to know you, so would you let me get to know you?
This drawer here has always been dedicated to the kids' stuff, like the baby spoons and forks and all of the lids to their water bottles. And of course, we don't need a lot of those items anymore. The kids all just use regular utensils now, so I can get rid of all of the baby stuff. I have slowly been getting rid of it over the last couple of months, but there was still a couple spoons in here. I decided to grab an acrylic organizer for all of the straws for their water bottles. And then I am just putting all of the lids back in here as well. The rest of the water bottles on the counter are all just going to be added to a box for donation. I do end up donating quite a bit this day, and it always is so nice to see the clutter physically leave my house.
Ocean is gray, sky is a vague blue, come my way. My room is a mess, it could use a hand. My favorite TV shows are capturing. I know must get it right, must get back in the fight.
Around the new year as well, I am always craving a change. And this time, every single year, is when I contemplate painting my kitchen. You guys are probably so sick of hearing me talk about this, and honestly, I'm sick of talking about it. I just want to do it and get it done, and I truly feel like this is going to be the year. It is something I have wanted to do since we moved into this house, and really the main things that stop us from completing the project is number one, fear. I am very nervous to paint our cabinets. Our kitchen is by no means ugly, and the cabinets we do have are beautiful, but I just feel like white would suit my taste a lot better. I do hate the backsplash though. I will say that. That is something I have been wanting to change, and we should just do that first and see if that's enough, but I know it won't be. I want white cabinets. And the second reason is the price. It is extremely expensive to get your cabinets painted, but I think we are going to go ahead and just do it ourselves. We did buy a paint sprayer already, so step one is complete, but we have never tackled a big project like this one. So we have been discussing the entire process, and we actually decided to start with a smaller scale project, and that is going to be the bathroom on our main floor. I will actually insert some clips here so you can see the bathroom. As you can see, it is kind of a mini version of our kitchen. It has the same cabinets with the same backsplash. So we would start by painting the cabinets in here. I would add the black hardware. We will rip out this rock backsplash and add the white backsplash that we are probably going to go with in the kitchen. I will spray paint the mirror black. I will add some black sconce lights, and it will just change this entire space. It will also be a really good practice run to see if we are capable of doing the kitchen ourselves. I have faith in us. We have done all of the renovations in our home ourselves, and we have learned some skills along the way, but we have never done something this large. But it would save us thousands of dollars. I actually got quoted last year, I believe, to get our kitchen painted, and they quoted us over $7,000. And for us to do it ourselves, it would only probably cost us maybe $1,000 in product. So we'll see. That is the plan for now, and I will film and keep you guys posted. I will film when we do the bathroom, and we'll see how it goes. But I am optimistic that this is finally going to be the year. So as you can see, we are now going through the junk drawer. We probably don't even need a junk drawer in our kitchen anymore. We do have an office, and that is where I should keep a majority of this stuff. But to be honest, my office also needs to be majorly gone through and cleaned and organized and decluttered. So for now, I am just going to go ahead and tidy up the junk drawer. I also do have quite a bit of storage in our kitchen. We are very fortunate. So we do have the space to have a dedicated drawer for pens and highlighters and tools and just little things that we reach for on an everyday basis. If you have a junk drawer, which I think most people do, you guys will have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think most people have a junk drawer in their kitchen or another area of their home, but you definitely need acrylic organizers to organize a space like this. There are so many different categories that could be part of a junk drawer, hence the name, and it would be impossible to organize without having some sort of dividers. I do have a couple different categories that I like to keep in my drawer. I always have pens in this area. I have highlighters, Sharpies, tools like a screwdriver, things that we use on a daily basis. I have paper clips, elastics, I have my scraping tool in here, I keep a lighter in here for my candles, and just things like that. Everything else that is still on the countertop here, I am either getting rid of, donating, or putting it back where it belongs somewhere else in my house. This drawer, of course, tends to collect a ton of different things, and most of it does not need to be in here. But as you can see, there is a night and day difference from what this drawer was to what it is now, and this area felt really good to get done. Moving on to the next drawer, this is where we keep all of our large kitchen utensils. This drawer was full of crumbs, so I am quickly just dumping everything out, and I'm going to be vacuuming and wiping this drawer out as well. This area, I knew there was going to be some stuff that I was going to be able to donate. We had a ton of duplicates of different utensils and spoons and rolling pins and just things I do not need two or more of. So I am just quickly going to put the organizers back into the drawer and then make my way through all of the stuff.
Saw you from across the room. When our eyes met, I never knew that I could feel this way, and it's kinda strange. Don't even know your name.
I also had a question for you guys, and I wanted to know your personal preference. I have been getting comments lately that people enjoy less voiceovers. They say they don't want to hear as much talking and they want to enjoy the music more. And then I get equal or honestly even more people who I assume enjoy the voiceovers because they will interact and engage in the comments with what I was saying throughout the video. So please let me know down below what you would prefer. I do find I talk quite a bit throughout my videos. I don't know about other creators. I don't know how much they like to sprinkle in their voiceovers, but I definitely am probably on the heavier side of voiceovers. I do like to fill you guys in and discuss what I am doing in a video, or maybe catching you up on my life or something that's going on. I personally enjoy that when I am watching some of my favorite creators. I like to know what's going on in their life and just feel like I'm catching up with a friend. So please let me know your preference down below, because I of course want to make content that you guys enjoy. So if you prefer the music, or if you prefer voiceovers, or if what I am doing is exactly what you like to see, just let me know in the comments so I know moving forward.
To get to know
This drawer here is dedicated to all of our pot holders, and most of them are fabric and we're due for a wash. So I am going to just collect these all and throw them right into the washing machine. I had a feeling my oven mitts were also in the same state, and I was correct, so I'm just grabbing those as well so I can just throw them all into the washing machine together.
Follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Before you turn away, I just want you to know that I didn't throw your stuff away. Before you make up your mind that I'm nowhere to find, I'm standing right here. I know that I told you we're over. I swear that I'm sober. Just listen, I miss you. And I know that I said all these things, but now when you're with her, I can see that you miss me.
My donation bin was officially full, so I am just going to be grabbing that and bringing it to the front door so we can just load it right into the vehicle and get it out of the house. And now we are going to be moving on to my medicine and supplement cabinet. I was very excited to get this area organized. For the most part, I really didn't even know what was in here. We had all sorts of things from wine glasses to birthday supplies to the medicine for myself, my kids, my dogs, and it just was a very messy area. So I am going to be getting some of the spinning organizers and also some acrylic organizers to just help this space function a lot better.
Cause right now I feel the love that we said we would burn. Oh, I know that you feel it too. I know that I told you we're over. I swear that I'm sober. Just listen, I miss you. And I know that I said all these things, but now when you're with her, I can see that you miss me. Just stay till the morning light.
These spinning acrylic organizers are perfect for this medicine cabinet because it is quite high up and I am unable to reach the back of the cabinet. So with these, I am able to just spin them and be able to have access to anything I may need. So I am just organizing and sorting everything into categories. So I have one spinner for all of our supplements and vitamins, and then I am going to be putting all of our cold and flu medicine into the other spinner. And then I do get just a rectangular organizer to put everything else from pain medicine to some allergy medication and just other stuff that we don't need on a very often basis.
Or would you let it be if I leave tonight? We could do this right. We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning? Would you stay till the morning light? Or would you follow me? Or would you let it be if I leave tonight? We could do this right. We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Till the morning light. Till the morning light. Till the morning light. Yeah. Till the morning light. Till the morning light. Till the morning light. Yeah. I know that I told you we're over. I swear that I'm sober. Just listen, I miss you. And I know that I said all these things, but now when you're with her, I can see that.
Now that we are finished with this area, we are just going to be moving down to the coffee bar area, and I am still so happy with this area. We did complete this only a couple of months ago, but I do still have my Christmas decor in this corner, so I am just going to be removing that, and I am going to attempt to replace it with some Valentine's decor. I really didn't have much. I only have a few pieces. This was all I had, so I might make a run to HomeSense and try to find a few more things to make this area look cute. But I did also get a Google Home for Christmas, and I think that is one of my favorite presents that I receive. I am constantly playing music in my kitchen now, and it is just really nice to have. I highly recommend one if you do not have one yet, but I also placed that on the tiered tray as well. I am also going to quickly just fill up my coffee and sugar jar before we move on to the next area. Another major problem area in my kitchen is our container drawer. As you can see here, it is an absolute mess. We do use this drawer every single day, especially when it comes to packing the kids' lunches. Justin also meal preps as well, so he is constantly going through the containers, and I am guilty of just throwing the containers and the lids into this drawer when I am emptying the dishwasher. I always start out really strong after reorganizing this drawer, and I will put everything back perfectly where it belongs, but that usually only lasts for a couple of weeks, and then I just get lazy again and start tossing them all into the drawer as a time saver. But truly, it does not save me time when I have to come back and reorganize the drawer and hunt for the lids that go with the containers, and it's more of a just stressful process. So hopefully I've learned my lesson, and this will be the time that I keep it clean and organized. We are moving over to this cupboard here. This is where we keep all of our strainers and all of our larger bowls and containers. There were quite a few items in here that didn't need to be in here. There were some plates, and there were also quite a few lids to bowls that we don't even own anymore. So I was able to get rid of quite a few things in here and make it look a lot better. So I just got home from Costco, and I thought I would do a Costco haul for you guys because I have not done a grocery haul in quite a while, and I know a lot of you enjoy them, and I always find it fun to see what other people are getting at the store. So I will show you guys what I picked up. I will also say this was definitely a stock up and restock haul. We needed a lot of our basics like coffee and meats and stuff for dinners and things like that. So I will quickly just take you through what I got before I put it all away. I will also apologize in advance that my dogs are louder than my kids, so you will probably hear them while I go through the haul. But to start, I got some apples and honey, some sandwich bread. We got mini pizzas for an easy lunch for the kids and some chicken salad for Justin and I as an easy lunch. Gray requested panko shrimp, so I got a box of that for him. We got some vitamins for the kids and some Uncrustables, some lean ground beef. I've never bought it in the tube like this before, so hopefully it's good and we like it. We've never tried this cooked sticky white rice. It's in little individual containers, which I thought was convenient, so I grabbed a box of those. We have some cheese slices and some block cheese. We like to grate our cheese ourselves. I've heard that there's a lot of additives in pre-grated cheese to help it not stick together and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's really that big of a deal, but why not try and cut additives out where we can? We got some chicken thighs. I got 2 pot roasts. Pot roasts are one of my favorite dinners to make throughout the week. And then I also got some strip loin steaks, some canned tuna. I got 2 boxes of coffee because it was $9 off, so why not buy 2 when it's on sale? I got some Finish and some salsa. I got a big box of pasta. We eat pasta all the time, so I just get this mixed box of it. I got some coconut milk, some Dawn Power Wash. I am not technically out of this, but I cannot find my bottle anywhere, so I thought I would just grab one while I was there because I do always use it. I got some ketchup and some sweet potatoes, some of Costco's chocolate muffins. These are the best and the kids love them. I do cut them in half and wrap them and freeze them, and it's an easy snack for them or to take with their lunch, that kind of stuff. Some toothpaste, some mushrooms, some recycle bags. We were out of our blue recycling bags, some grapes, a big flat of eggs. We eat a ton of eggs in our house. I got a bag of potatoes and some new hangers because we are running out of hangers in our closet because Matt keeps chewing them. And oh, and then I got this Pokemon set for Gray. I think I'm gonna give this to him for his birthday, which is not until June, but I saw it and it looked really fun and it was a good value and he loves Pokemon cards. So why not start shopping early when I can? But that is everything I purchased. Like I said, it was more of a restock and just getting stuff we need for the week and the month to survive. And I believe the total for all of this was $669, which is a lot. But the Pokemon cards, I believe, were like $68. And then of course, when you buy meat, that's expensive, coffee's expensive. You guys know how it is, but that is everything I purchased. So, oh, Mac's gonna start. They also put everything in boxes, which is so annoying. So I'm gonna put those out for recycling tomorrow, but I'm gonna put all of this away now. It felt so good to get some of these areas finally organized and decluttered. These are things I've been putting off for longer than I would like to admit, but I am so happy it is done. Thank you guys so much for being here and spending this time with me. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you all next Friday with a brand new video. Bye guys. Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be doing some deep cleaning, decluttering, and organizing in my living room. We are going to be starting things off by cleaning underneath all of my couch cushions. I have not done this in quite a few months and it was overdue. And then once we are finished cleaning on top of the couch, we are going to start moving all of the pieces around and cleaning underneath the entire couch and underneath the rug. This is another area that has definitely been neglected in my house over the last couple of months, and it was really bad. So we are going to tackle all of that today. Once we are finished with the deep cleaning aspect, we are going to move on to organizing and decluttering the cabinet in my living room. That is where we keep a ton of the kids' craft stuff. And of course, kind of the theme of the week, that is overdue as well. So lots to tackle in today's video, and I really hope you all enjoy it.
My dear friend, where have you been? Where have you gone? What did you win? Someone there, are you listening? Is it too late? My dear friend, we felt the sunshine, we found the gold. We thought we'd be forever young, but now I know we can't keep floating. We have to This is the beat of broken hearts. Is it all lost? We can't go on again. 'Cause you seem like you want it bad. My head is spinning off the edge. And I'm giving in way too fast, way too fast. Caught up in the flashing lights, keeps it dead in my mind, leading me on like it's whatever. We could go on, but we should know better. We can't go on again, 'cause you seem like you want it bad. My head is spinning off the edge. And I'm giving in way too fast, way too fast. We can't go on again, 'cause you seem like you want it bad. My head is spinning off the edge. And I'm giving in way too fast, way too fast.
As you can see from this clip, so much stuff has accumulated underneath this couch over the last few months, and a good majority of this was garbage. There was some toys and markers and just little things like that that were also under here, but you will see I do throw out pretty much everything. I just feel like if we have not missed it in the 4 months that something has been sitting underneath this couch, we probably don't need it. I used to be really bad about that and make the mistake of keeping the clutter around, worried that my kids might be looking for something down the road, and that never happened, not one time. So I have quickly realized that it is just easier to throw it out and get rid of it now, and that way I never have to think about it again. It's crazy to me that in the 4 or 5 months that it has been since I cleaned underneath this couch, I collected enough garbage underneath here to fill up this little garbage bag. We are now left with all of the crumbs and dust and small little pieces, so I am going to be grabbing my vacuum so we can get all of this picked up before moving the rug and mopping the floor.
You feel so far away, though you're close. Where's your mind at? I wanna know. A penny for your thoughts. I wanna know what's inside that heart of yours. Ooh, I feel paper thin. Ooh, when will you let me in? Do you let anyone get under your skin? You play it cool.
I love this vacuum from Tinko. I do use it all the time, but I find it does get clogged often. I will say we do have a lot of dog fur in our home, especially when cleaning the carpets and rugs or areas like underneath the couches that has been neglected. So I am not going to be shocked when it gets clogged, but I did have to unclog this vacuum a couple of times throughout this process.
So far away that you're close. There's your heart that I wanna know. A penny for your thoughts. I wanna know what's inside the heart of you.
This area that is above my couch always gets super dusty. I am not able to mop this area when I am mopping the floors of my stairs because the bars are in the way, so I do have to wipe this down with a cloth every so often to stay on top of the dust and the dog fur.
But underneath I know you're hiding something. Do you let anyone get under your skin? I just wanna get to know you, so would you let me get to know you, boy? Would you let me get to know you, boy? Would you let me get to know you, boy? Would you let me get to know you, boy? Would you let me get to know you? Ooh, I feel paper thin. Ooh, when will you let me in? Do you let anyone get under?
Once the floors were dry, we are going to be laying the rug back out, and I do always like to rotate the rug so the couch isn't in the same place each time, and it just keeps the wear and tear throughout the carpet looking even.
You got something I can never be without, yeah. I'm in your command. Thought I was a man of my own will. It's been 2 years. I'm only a shadow of the good on me now. A breeze in my ear. 'Cause you know I cannot see no.
I absolutely love this couch and I would 100% buy it again, but the only thing that I would change is that I wish the pieces of the sectional locked together. Having kids and having dogs, it would be nice for these pieces not to be so easily separated. When the kids are wrestling or the dogs lay on the carpet, sometimes it pushes the sectional pieces around and it never stays looking as perfect as it does when I first line it all up.
What do I, we can't stop it. So I keep on rolling in silence. So I keep on rolling in silence. I find myself apologizing when you started it. Why? Under a spell. I really wonder how did it come to this? Go see my friends, but then I realized they're all your friends. Is this who
I wanted to also make sure that I moved this cabinet as well. I purchased this cabinet almost exactly a year ago and I have not cleaned behind it or underneath it since, so I knew it was long overdue.
what do I, every time you call my name, what do I, whipping me into madness. I try to lay low, but I can never stay away from you. What do I, we can't stop it, so I keep on rolling in silence. So I keep on rolling in silence.
This little area of my living room is still one of my favorite spaces in my entire home. I just love the way it turned out and the way it looks. I absolutely love the black accents with the lighter pieces, and then with the pop of greenery, I just feel like it turned out really pretty. It is simple and minimal, but I find that is definitely the direction I am trying to steer towards throughout my entire house. Now we are going to be diving into the cabinet, and this is where I keep all of my kids' art supplies and craft supplies. But as you can see here, it is very disorganized and very messy. So I'm going to be taking everything out of here so we can go through it all and make this space function a lot better.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive.
The first thing I did want to do is go through everything and just put the obvious stuff back where it belongs. I had a lot of markers and crayons thrown throughout each bin, and they don't belong in there. They belong in the little holder. So I was doing that, and then I am going to go through all of the kids' papers and coloring books and workbooks. I did sort these into 3 different categories. I had one area for the workbooks, so kind of like the school books. I had one for all of the coloring books, and then I had another section for more of the craft type books. So they were sticker books and pop-out books and just things like that. So it made sense in my mind, and I knew this would function a lot better. They could see what they have and grab the bin with the stuff that they were wanting instead of throwing all of it everywhere looking for a certain thing.
City lights looking fine, and I know this is my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me. No, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold.
So these are the 3 bins that I was keeping, and they already look so much better and more organized. I was also able to get rid of quite a bit of the used coloring books and workbooks. I had so many that were already full, and you obviously can't redo the pages, so it was nice to get rid of a lot of the clutter that we were hanging on to.
Look at the beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes.
This Play-Doh bin is by far the most used bin. Quinn loves Play-Doh and is constantly playing with it. I do buy store-bought Play-Doh, but I do also make my homemade Play-Doh as well. So you will notice me throwing some baggies into this bin as well, and that is just the bags holding the homemade Play-Doh. I don't really do too much decorating for Valentine's Day, but I did find this really cute heart garland at HomeSense, and I could not pass it up. I just thought it would be the perfect addition to the fireplace mantle, but it does look a little long and strange hanging like this, so I did want to hang the center area up as well. I tried to find a command hook and I didn't have any in my house, so I thought maybe tape would work and I'd be able to hide it, but it was not working at all, and I'm definitely going to have to go out and buy a command hook to get this hung up. But that is going to be it for today's video. I know this video was on the shorter side, but I'm sure you guys understand why. I did have this footage already ready to go from Monday, and I still wanted to get a video up. But thank you guys so much for being here and spending this time with me. And I do also already want to say thank you so much for being so kind in the comments, because I know you guys are probably being so comforting and sending so much love our way. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I will see you guys all next week with a brand new video. Bye, guys. Hello, you guys, and welcome back. We are going to be continuing on with decluttering, organizing, and cleaning today. Each week, I am feeling better and better overall with each space that I've been able to make a lot more functional and clutter-free. In today's video, we are going to be tackling the kids' spaces, so their bedrooms and their bathroom. The closets and their dressers have gotten out of control, and their bathroom is in an even worse state. I purchased some new organizers to clean the drawers up, and by the end of today's video, we were able to get rid of a ton of stuff. I am so glad you all are enjoying these videos and are wanting to start your 2025 off with decluttering and organizing too. So today's video is jam-packed with motivation, and I really hope you enjoy it. When I am decluttering a space, I do always like to clean the area before I start the decluttering process. I find when you are organizing and decluttering, it usually makes more of a mess before it gets better. So I do like to have everything clean around me and all of the surfaces wiped down before I start pulling more things out of the drawer. So I am just going to be taking a minute and just cleaning the girls' room. I want to wipe down all of the surfaces, pick everything up off of the floor, and quickly get their carpets vacuumed. Marathon, Kenji, saxophone. We'll order in a bunch of food. I'll put your favorite music on all the way baritone. Yeah. Shut the lights, go infrared. I asked you guys in last week's video if you enjoy less or more voiceovers, and I was so happy to see that most of you enjoy voiceovers and feel like you are able to catch up with a friend when you are listening to me. It just makes me so happy because I love chatting in my videos. I love updating you guys on my life and what's been going on, or walking you through my thought process when I am filming and cleaning and doing these videos. So I am just so happy you guys all enjoy it. I want my channel to be a place where you can come and feel welcome and happy and just have a little escape in my tiny little corner of the internet. Whether you are needing motivation or maybe some inspiration to tackle something, or if you are just wanting to sit back and relax and feel like you are catching up with a friend, I am so happy that I can be that person for you. So thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Whether you have been here on my channel for years, or maybe this is your very first video you are ever seeing of mine, or anywhere in between, I am so happy that you are here. Let's go infrared. I'm just giving you a quick overview of what we're working with the girls' closet and their dresser. As you can see, things are overflowing and collecting in areas that they shouldn't be. So we are going to be dealing with all of that now. The very first thing I am going to be doing is going through the dresser and all of their drawers. Quinn is growing so quickly. I feel like things that fit her only a couple of weeks ago, she is now growing out of. I feel like from the ages of 0 to 3, kids grow so fast and you are constantly needing to buy them the next size up. So I am going to be getting rid of a ton of her stuff today. And by getting rid of, I mean we are going to be donating it, but you will see me making a couple of different piles here. I have the pile off to the left, which is all of the stuff that is going for donation. And it was kind of sad going through her stuff because some of it she didn't even get to wear. Some of the jeans were brand new, and she is more of a leggings girl. She never wants to wear jeans, and I feel that. I also love comfort, but we are going to be getting rid of that pile to donation. I made a pile of pants that still fit her, a couple of shorts and skirts that she isn't currently wearing because it is winter, and then the few items on her bed have holes in them, so we are just going to be throwing those into the garbage. This was the drawer that was driving me the most crazy. It is her pajama drawer, and none of the sets were matched up. None of the pants were with the shirts, and it was just overflowing and chaotic. There was also quite a few pairs of pajamas in here that didn't fit her anymore, and there was no need for them to be in here. So I am just quickly going through and matching everything with the proper set and getting rid of everything that no longer fits her. Just getting a few things out of this drawer and properly folding the clothes make it so much easier and functional. So I highly recommend folding your clothes like this if you do not already. I've been recommending this style of folding for years. I don't know if it's the KonMari method of folding, but it is a very similar version if I'm not doing it correctly. But now we are moving on to Rowan's drawer, and I did not have to get rid of as much for Rowan. She is 6 and she does not grow as quickly as Quinn does. So a good majority of the stuff in her drawer still fit her, but it was just very messy and disorganized. So I am quickly just refolding everything and sorting it into categories. So I'm putting all of the jeans and cargo pants together. I put her leggings together and then all of her shorts on the far right side. So now that we are finished going through all of the clothes in the dresser, I am just making piles out of everything that I am getting rid of. A lot of the pajamas had holes in them or they were stained and dirty and were not up for donation, but the rest of the stuff I am going to be adding to a laundry basket I had in the haul. That is where I am just creating a pile for all of the stuff for donation, and then we are going to start going through all of the clothes in the closet. As you can see, a lot of stuff has accumulated on the shelves in here, so I am going to get hangers to hang this all up. That alone is going to make this closet look so much better, but I am also going to be going through everything and getting rid of the things that no longer fit or are in too worn of a condition. I also had to quickly run over to Grayson's room and get some of the hangers from his closet so I could use these in the girls' room. I did recently buy a box of adult-sized hangers from Costco, and I did try to hang some of the girls' stuff using those, but they are way too big for their clothes. They were stretching them out, and half the time I couldn't even get them on the hanger because they were just too small for such a large hanger. So I did need to move things around and steal the kid-sized hangers out of Grayson's clothes and use the adult hangers in his closet instead, since his clothes are quite a bit bigger than the girls'. But the reason this area has gotten so unmanageable is because I did run out of hangers in here, and instead of buying new ones, I was attempting to just put the clothes on the shelves, and that just ended up being a big mess and didn't help anybody.
I'm acting surprised, but I know I'm not over. You keep missing a fight, even though they're so overdue. We had a fire, now we're watching it burn low. Isn't it time we go our separate ways? Not enough time, not enough time. I'm falling behind, I hate to separate my body and mind, my body and...
As I was going through all of these clothes that were stored on the shelves, I forgot how many things I was storing on here that used to be Rowan's that I was waiting for them to start fitting Quinn. And as you can see from this pile here, there were so many things that would currently fit her that I have not been using because I didn't remember that they were in here. So that is a little frustrating. I do not like wasting anything, and that's how this was feeling to me. It felt like a waste that there were clothes and leggings and pants sitting in the closet waiting to be used that I could have been using for the last couple of months. But luckily they are all size 5 and they will fit her for still a little while. But that is just another reminder and reason to go through your spaces and your areas more frequently, because you don't want to be sitting on something that could be used, and if it's not being used, you can probably just get rid of it, because there's no reason to have areas in your home that are just sitting cluttered. If you have not used something in an entire calendar year, you are probably safe to get rid of it. Now that I am finished with all of the clothes that were on the shelves, I am quickly going through everything that is hanging up. I knew a lot of this no longer fit Quinn and I could get rid of it and donate it. So that is what I am doing here. And I did end up with quite a few empty hangers, so I probably didn't even need to go steal them from Gray's closet. I guess I should have did this first, but you live and you learn, and I know these hangers will still get used in the future.
But I guess that's what love do.
I am still going to keep some of these hangers in the girls' room because they did have dirty laundry. So once that's clean, I knew I would have a few more things to hang up. So I'm using these hangers for that. And the rest of them I am taking back to Gray's room. We will be organizing his closet a little later on in today's video, but this is what we were left with the girls' closet. It is clean, it is organized, and you can now see where everything is. We are now moving down the hall into the kids' bathroom, and as you can see from these clips, it was in desperate need for some love and attention. It is very messy in here, as well as very disorganized and cluttered. I don't know if I have organized these drawers since we have moved into this house. We still have diapers in the drawer, and we have not had kids in diapers for over a year, so it has definitely been a long time coming. So I am really excited to make this room a place that we want to be in and make it organized and functional.
You feel so far away, though you're close. Where's your mind at? I wanna know.
I don't know if it's just me, but I have been feeling very overwhelmed and busy lately. I try and thrive through the busyness, but between three kids and all of the activities and sports and school and everything that comes with all of that, I just feel like I am drowning a little bit. With activities and school comes the theme days and the volunteering and the drop-offs and the pickups. I'm always trying to find new lunch ideas. And then don't forget about maintaining the house and meal planning and grocery shopping and trying to take care of myself by working out and making an income and just squeezing in that little bit of me time. Having my house cleaned and organized is one thing that I feel like does help me feel less overwhelmed and makes things feel a little less chaotic. When things are busy and we are always on the go, it does amplify the chaos when my house is a disaster. So, along with all of this rambling, I guess the point I am trying to hit home is that the state of my house is one thing I can control that does help me feel better throughout the busyness. And I have really been making a point to try and stay on top of my cleaning. And my goal has been and is to get every space organized and decluttered and functioning better. So that is really what I have been focusing on in my life and here on my channel. I highly recommend it if you have been feeling the same way that I have been feeling, just a little chaotic, a little overwhelmed, because it truly does help and it just makes me happier in general. So I am going to be going through all of the problem drawers now and taking everything out of them. I decided to empty every drawer that I needed to be organized so I could see what I was working with and kind of how I wanted to organize things. I wasn't sure when I originally started what was going to go where, but this bottom drawer here was all of the girls' stuff. So their nail polish and their glitter tattoos and just all of their girly things. This drawer here is the stuff that we use on more of a daily basis. So their hairbrush, all of their hair accessories. We have Rowan's puffers in here and things like that. This drawer is all of their bath stuff. I decided to just keep it as is because it was fairly organized and I didn't really know how I could make it better. And this bottom drawer was miscellaneous stuff. So a thermometer, we have a shower curtain in here. We have diapers that I am going to get rid of and give away because we have no use for them. And once everything is out, we are going to start organizing. I did purchase these organizers off of Amazon. I can't remember what brand they were, but I think the entire pack was maybe $25. So very inexpensive, and I did get quite a few organizers. And I am just going through and seeing what fits in which container. I was just kind of winging it at this point. I didn't exactly have a game plan, and I wasn't sure what categories I was going to put in which drawer, but it did slowly come together, and I am really happy with how it all ended up.
This can't be a surprise. I think I let it slide. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems. No, I can't make it through. Every night is the same. I keep running fast, left and right.
I have said this before and I will continue to say it. If you are trying to organize a drawer, I highly recommend getting some sort of acrylic organizers or acrylic dividers. They can make any messy space look organized, even if you don't necessarily have categories or specific items that need to be grouped together. If they are in organizers, it will make a complete difference. So, highly, highly recommend.
Poison flows in my veins. Guess I got used to avoiding the pain. I know must get it right. Must get back in the fight. This can't be a surprise. I think I'll let it slide. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems. I know I can make it through every night. It's the same.
I did decide to keep all of the girls' hair accessories and Rowan's puffers in this drawer because it is stuff I reach for every single day and night. So this is the perfect place for it. Then I am just putting these goggles in an acrylic organizer and adding them to the bottom drawer with the thermometer and some of their hair care and lotions. The rest of the stuff that I was left with was all of the girls' stuff, like their glitter tattoos, their nail polish, stuff for their little face masks, and all of the girly stuff that they like to reach for occasionally. So I decided to just categorize all of that and sort them into the acrylic organizers and rearrange those into the bottom drawer. These made a huge difference. I will show you the after, of course, and I am just so happy having these drawers finally done.
You got something I can never be without, yeah. I'm in your command. Thought I was a man of my own, but it's been 2 years. I'm only a shadow of the good on me now. A breeze in my ear, 'cause you know I cannot say no to you. Feeling like home, but should it be like this? Locked up in your dome.
If I am being honest, I have neglected the kids' bathroom a little bit when it comes to decluttering and organizing it. It is just one of those spaces that I did not know how I was going to make it look nice with all of the random stuff they have accumulated, but I feel like I did a really good job and it made such a big difference. My kids were also quite excited when they were going through the drawers later this evening, and I was actually quite surprised. It was one of those things that I didn't think that they would even notice, and they did immediately, and they loved being able to see everything and everything having its place, and it just surprised me. So I am so glad it's done, and I honestly felt a little bad that it took me so long, but it is going to be so much better moving forward.
Under a spell, I really wonder how did it come to this? Go see my friends, but then I realized they're all your friends. Is this who?
While we are in the bathroom, I decided I might as well go through underneath the cabinet as well. This is where I keep all of my bathroom cleaners and all of the kids' medicines. There is child locks on these, so they can't get underneath here. My kids are old enough as well to know not to eat the medicine, I hope. I probably should move it now that I'm thinking about it. Quinn cannot figure these out, and she is really the only one I am worried about, but I'm going on a tangent here. I may move this medicine now, but I was just going through and organizing everything into categories. I put the Band-Aids at the back, and then all of their cold and flu medicine in the middle, and then all of the pain relief medicine at the front. And I have a lot of Tylenol. I don't know why we have accumulated so much. And this is, again, another reason it is good to go through your stuff, just so you know what you have. There was also quite a bit of expired products and empty products under here, so I was throwing those in the garbage as I went.
Maybe I need therapy, yeah. Red carpet for you. Let me hold your bag. I'll carry your shoes. I think I've lost it. What do I? Every time you call my name. What do I? You're whipping me into madness.
now we are going to be moving on to Gray's room, and we are going to be doing the same thing in here that we did in the girls' room. I want to clean off all of the surfaces, so I'm just going to be cleaning off his nightstand and his dresser. Then we are going to be dusting everything and vacuuming the carpets before moving on to digging into his dresser and his closet.
So I keep on rolling in silence. So I keep on rolling in silence. Keep on rolling in silence. Why do
I feel like January is absolutely dragging this year, and I actually feel like January goes slow pretty much every year. I don't know if it's the lull after the holidays or if we are all itching for spring and summer now, but I definitely feel like January is the slowest month of the year. Justin and I were talking, and we think we should maybe start planning a trip in January or maybe even the beginning of February as something to look forward to. I just feel like I am ready for some sunshine. I'm also very excited for camping season this year. As my kids get older, I feel like I appreciate summertime more and more. I do live in Alberta, Canada, so our winters are quite cold. We, of course, still get outside and we go sledding and go outside and play in the snow, which is not my favorite thing. I'm not a winter girl, but I'm ready for my kids to be able to go outside and run around and adventure and just have some fun. So you guys will have to let me know if you are feeling the January blues as well, because I feel like this is a very long, dragged out month.
I saw you from across the room. When our eyes met, I never knew that I could feel this way, and it's kinda strange. Don't even know your name. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to.
Now that Gray's room is clean, we are going to start going through his dresser, and it was not too bad, but I did want to go through everything and just make sure everything still fit him and just make it look a lot cleaner and organized. He is at the age where he is also not growing out of his clothes as quickly. He fits everything for probably the entire calendar year for the most part. He is going to be 8 this year, which is absolutely wild to me. I cannot believe my first baby is going to be 8. It feels like yesterday he was just a little baby, and I'm sure you all know the feeling I am talking about. It feels like yesterday, and it is just kind of hard to wrap my mind around.
Just wanna get to know you. I think I've waited all these years for you right here. But how will I ever know if you go? 'Cause I don't know you, but I want to get to know you.
His closet is definitely more on the messy side. As you can see in the center of the closet, he does store a lot of his own personal things, and I don't want to mess that up for him. This is his room and it is his closet, and these are his things. So I am just going to let him do what he wants in here, but I did want to go through all of his clothes and get rid of anything that no longer fit him. He won't even notice the clothes being missing, but he will notice if I move his things, and I'm not going to do that today.
I got red eyes, but it's all blue. Those colorful eyes, they don't shine like they used to. The city don't want us, babe. We won't survive this place. The city don't want this. The city don't want this. And if I would lie and honestly, it doesn't feel like home, like home. Home, feel like home. A faded mind, so we stay blind. Oh, the city to got a tendency to fading out underwater. Yeah, are we losing touch? Are we falling? And if I would lie and stay, it wouldn't feel the same. I won't lie. No, honestly, it doesn't feel like home, like home.
I really hope you enjoyed today's video and it gave you some motivation to tackle a space around your home. I also wanted to quickly show you this laundry basket full of clothes that we are sending off for donation. I feel like we made some really good progress today. If you did enjoy this one, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you all next Friday with a brand new video. Bye guys. Hi everyone and welcome back. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and a great start to your new year. Today's video is always one of my favorite videos to film each year. It is my after Christmas clean and organizing video. We did host Christmas dinner this year, so I wanted to give the illusion that my house was clean after the chaos of Christmas morning. So I shoved everything into the office and just shut the door. So now I am just moving everything out of the office and into the kitchen so I can start going through it all and organizing it into categories. We had a really great holiday season here in my house, but I am so ready to be back and so ready to be getting back into my routines. I ended up being gone a little longer than I originally planned on YouTube. I did plan on taking 2 weeks off for a little Christmas break, but I ended up getting pneumonia around December 10th. So that was really rough and probably the most sick I have ever been. So I was forced to slow down and take some extra time off and be gone a little earlier than I planned. But I am back and I have some really good videos planned and coming your way for the new year.
Like $1,000,000 wearing that dress I like. You're smiling, but there's something missing.
As I was bringing everything out of the office and getting it put onto the kitchen counters, I was already feeling very overwhelmed. The amount of stuff that we get at Christmas time is a lot, and I completely acknowledge that. My kids get absolutely spoiled around the holidays, which is so fun for them. But I do acknowledge that they get way more stuff than they actually need. We do have a lot of family around. We have, of course, us who buy for the kids. We have grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins, and we are just very lucky to have so much family around for the holidays, and it makes it extra special. But I will be the first to admit that they get a ton of stuff. The first thing I wanted to do was get all of the larger boxed items off of the counter so I had a lot more room to work. So I did grab 3 of these plastic bins, one for each of the kids, and I just slowly started sorting things into the bins. I did quickly realize that the boxed items were taking up pretty much the entire bin, so I did decide to just call Justin to come and grab these and bring them upstairs so he could just put them in the kids' rooms or the playrooms, wherever they belonged. And then I quickly changed my strategy and decided to dump all of the bags out onto the counter before sorting things into the bins. It was hard to see what I had and what was going on, so I wanted to get everything out of the bags so I could start sorting things properly, and like I said, just so I could kind of see what we had.
We're all about the good vibes, all about the good vibes. I will make you forget all your sorrows. Let go like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink, just relax, all your problems will fade.
I am so excited for 2025, and I always love the fresh start feel that a new year brings. And I know it's a bit cliche to say, but I feel like this year is going to be a really great year. I am so excited for everything that it has to offer, and we already have some big plans and are wanting to make some big changes and have some things in the works that I am excited to share as they do become more of a reality, and things are just looking really good for the year ahead. I am also a big New Year's resolutions person. I love making goals for the upcoming year. We always make categories like health and wellness, financial, family, personal, and work related, and just make a few different goals for each category. I find this helps me visualize the upcoming year and what we want to accomplish. Let me know down below in the comments if you made some resolutions for 2025 and what your biggest goal for this year is.
But I still love you like I do. It breaks my heart, no text, no calls from you. It's like you.
Now we are back to sorting, and now that I have everything unboxed and out of the bags and sitting on the counter, I feel like it's just a lot easier to see what I have and be able to organize it a lot more efficiently. So like I mentioned, I do have one bin for each of my kids, and I am slowly just going through the pile and sorting through all of their stuff. I also have a laundry basket because my kids do get quite a few new clothes, which I love. So I'm putting all of the new clothes into the laundry basket, and then I will be going through and taking all of the tags off of that afterwards so I can get them in the wash and hung up in their closets.
Come home with me tonight, run away with me. It'd be worth the time, run away with me. I made you feel alright, run away with me. And I'll be good this time around.
If you are looking at this pile and shaking your head, trust me, I feel you. I just spent the majority of 2024 trying to declutter my home and really minimize the amount of clutter we have, but it is definitely a balancing act. I feel like it's inevitable around the holidays that you are going to accumulate a lot of new stuff, and with that, bring in a lot of new clutter into your home, especially when you have children. I do try and go through all areas of my home regularly to go through everything and donate and get rid of anything we are no longer using. I am a better person and a better mom and a better wife when my house is clean and organized and decluttered. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. If my house is in a state of chaos, I feel like it just stresses me out as a person, and that's no fun for anyone. So I do try and stay on top of it as best as I can. Another tip I feel like I can give when it comes to accumulating new stuff around the holidays is just try and prepare before the holiday rolls around. I did try and do that this year, and I did a huge declutter and purge of our playroom. I got rid of a ton of stuff and made room for a lot of the new things I knew my kids were going to get.
You got something I can never be without, yeah. I'm in your command. Thought I was a man of my own will. It's been 2 years. I'm only a shadow of the good on me now. A breeze in my ear. Cause you know I cannot say no to you. Feeling like home. But should it be like this?
If you are new here on my channel, I did quickly want to just say hello and welcome. I am so happy that you are here. My name is Aleah and I am a mom of 3. I have a 7-year-old son and 2 daughters aged 6 and 3. I do post new cleaning motivation videos every single Friday here on my channel. I love to post cleaning, decluttering, deep cleaning, organizing, and I do also include the occasional room makeover. We do have a couple areas around our home that we are going to be tackling this year that I am really looking forward to. But thank you so much for being here and joining the community that we have built here. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back for another video and spending another year with me. I am so appreciative to each and every one of you. And I just feel like I cannot say thank you enough for all of your support. If you are not yet following me over on Instagram as well, I would love for you guys to follow me on that platform. If you enjoy more daily updates or just seeing what I am doing more than just the once a week visit here on YouTube, that is a great place to be. I will have it linked down below, but I would love to have you over on Instagram as well.
Every time you call my name, what do I whipping me into madness? I try to lay low, but I can never stay away from you. What do I we can't stop it, so I keep on rolling in silence. So I keep on rolling in silence. Is this really healthy? Maybe I need therapy, yeah. Red carpet for you.
We are in the home stretch of getting all of this stuff put away, and I know it is condensed into only a few minutes for this video, but I think I spent about 4 hours getting all of this done the day after Christmas, and at this point, I was more than ready to be done. The last thing we are working on is getting all of the tags off of all of the new clothes so I could get this in the washing machine. I am the type of person who has to wash everything before it is used in my home, whether that be clothes or blankets or dishes, literally anything that we buy and that can be washed, it has to be washed before we use it.
But I can never stay away from you. What do I we can't stop it, so I keep on rolling in silence. So I keep on rolling in silence. Keep on playing in silence.
I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I ended up with pneumonia at the beginning of December, and it was the worst. I've never had pneumonia or honestly any type of respiratory infection, so it was no fun at all. I did mention in my most recent video that I posted probably about 4 weeks ago that I was having cold symptoms. I was coughing, I felt sick, I had a fever, but I never thought it would be pneumonia. But after day 5 of a fever, I had a feeling I must have some sort of infection because fevers usually only last a couple days for me, if that. So I did decide to make a trip to the doctor and they sent me for a chest x-ray, and the x-ray came back that I had pneumonia. So they put me on 2 different types of antibiotics, and luckily I ended up on those because even on day 3 of antibiotics, I still had a fever. I had a fever for over a week and it was absolutely miserable. Fevers make you feel so sick and crummy and it was just awful. But luckily, it was cleared up before all of the Christmas festivities began, and I was able to enjoy the holidays with my kids and my family. But I did hear it is going around this year, so if you have symptoms, don't ignore them and just get checked out by your doctor because it is not worth the suffering.
You're gone now. Will you call me back? Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. You're the traveling kind. It's a known fact. Yeah, I know
So this was a few days later and it was time to tackle all of my Christmas decor. I was so ready to take it down. I believe I was filming this on New Year's Eve morning. I am usually the type of person that takes down my Christmas decor the day after Christmas, but something about this year, I don't know if it's because we were sick or what it was, but I just wasn't ready the day after Christmas. I wanted to enjoy my decor a few extra days, but by New Year's Eve, I was ready to take it down, and I always want to go into the new year with a fresh, clean slate when it comes to my home. So I knew this was the day I had to get it all down. Let me know down below in the comments when you take down your Christmas decor. It seems like it definitely goes one way or the other. You are usually someone who takes it down right after Christmas, or you leave it up into the new year. I was kind of playing the middle game this year, but I definitely wanted it down before the new year.
Yeah, you're up in space, you're inside the noise, I can feel you. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world, all the spaces inside your heart. I hope I'll be your destination. I hope I'll be your life-changing sensation. I hope I'll be something that you won't let go. I'll be your high when you fall down low. I hope I'll be your
Our fireplace mantle always tends to collect a lot of different things. I think it is because it is one of the areas around the home that the kids can't reach. So if we take something away from one of them, or if we have something that we don't want them to have, it ends up finding its way up here. But I am just going to quickly collect all of the stuff and put it back where it belongs around the house. And then of course, take down all of the Christmas stuff too.
outside my window. Is everything pale and cold? Can't seem to pick up my phone. It's been ringing all day long. Behind these clouds, I know the sun will be, but today's raining, so be patient with me. I'll be right. Somehow I must be somewhere the sky is blue. I'm too tired to sleep, too tired.
I didn't want to bore you with footage of me undecorating my Christmas tree, so I did take all of the ribbon and ornaments off of my tree off camera, but we are just going to quickly take the tree apart and store it downstairs in its box. Once the tree was out of here, I couldn't believe how empty the living room was feeling, but I really was enjoying the minimal feel of having all of the decor away. I always enjoy putting up my Christmas stuff, but I equally enjoy taking it down. It is nice to have a fresh start for the new year, and it makes my home feel minimal and simple and fresh, if that makes sense. I will say it might be a little too empty in my living room. I am going to be putting out my regular everyday decor once I am finished cleaning in here, and then you guys will have to let me know if you think I should add maybe a plant to this corner behind me here, or if you enjoy the minimal feel. I am undecided, so we'll see what I decide over the next couple of weeks.
But today's raining, so be patient with me. I'll be right. Somehow I must be somewhere the sky is blue. I'm too tired to sleep, too tired to do anything else than doing nothing. I'm too tired to rest, too tired I'm blue, can't do nothing else.
Now we are moving on to the dining room, and we are just doing the same thing in here. I wanted to clean the space and get everything put back where it belongs, and then I am going to be taking down all of the Christmas stuff in here and putting up my regular decor for January.
Turn up. You better be there when I shake. Watch me rockin' if I can't stop. If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my tune. Choo-ah. Ooh, I love it. Crank it up, yeah. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this. You better join in. You better grab that tambourine. Bring the bass, we might be wicked. We may be forced to cause a scene. Make some trouble, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my tune. Choo-ah. Ooh, I love it. Crank it up, yeah. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this. Turn it up on a higher.
Now we are moving on to my formal dining room, and I have not shown you guys the new cabinet we purchased. I desperately have to vacuum, so just ignore that. But we purchased a cabinet that fits perfectly in this little cutout here, and I absolutely love it. We purchased it from Wayfair, and it has this kind of like ridged detailing. I don't know exactly what that would be called, but I love that these two doors open this way. I just have one of Rowan's craft kits and one of our games in here. I have yet to completely do this space, and then these two open this way. So I love that, and it's slow close, which is so nice. But I just quickly decorated it for Christmas because we did get it about a week before Christmas and we hosted, so I wanted to put a few things here. And it looks cute, but this is definitely not how I will style it next year. But now I have to figure out what I want to do with this wall here. I do think I have an idea, so that will be coming soon. But I'm really excited to get some decor pieces for this space for just year-round decor, and I love it. So I wanted to quickly show you guys that before we undecorate it.
We got this. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this. We got this. We got this.
In the last space, we are going to be undecorating and redecorating with my regular decor is the office. I do have quite a bit of Christmas decor upstairs in my kids' rooms and the playroom, but I decided to just do that off camera because my kids wanted to help. So it made it easy. I just stuck with the main floor and the main areas for this video.
Said the last drink was the last drink. You make it hard to leave. We're telling secrets in the dark while drinking whiskey neat. I would fall in a second if you let me, 'cause you're all that I want. Could you let me in? The last drink was Said the last kiss was the last kiss. Make it hard for you to leave. We're telling secrets in between the sheets. I don't want you to leave. I would fall in a second if you let me. Cause you're all that I want, would you let me in? The last drink was the last drink, but I don't wanna leave. I wanna get closer, don't want this night to be over. Wanna get closer, it's not over, yeah. We could go back to my place, cause I don't wanna waste no precious time. So let's go back to my place.
And of course, a new month means updating my family calendar, but that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for being here and spending this time with me. If you are new here, I would love for you to subscribe down below before you leave, and I will see you guys all next week with a brand new video. Bye guys. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. We are going to be getting tons of cleaning done in today's video, and I am also going to be decluttering and organizing a few different areas. It was a chilly and snowy day this day, which is honestly my favorite weather to get some cleaning done. I am also wanting to start prepping my home for the holidays. I am itching to decorate for Christmas this year, and that will probably be my next video, but I want my house nice and clean before I start bringing all of my Christmas stuff up over the next few days. So that is the focus of today's video. We are going to be starting in my bedroom. I was actually really overdue for cleaning in here, and it was much needed. So we are just starting by stripping the bed to get that in the washing machine. And now we are going to be cleaning off all of the furniture and cleaning the floors before we dive into the nightstands. They were really needing to be decluttered and organized so I could finally have them working as a functional space.
Give me love, give me all your love, oh, 'cause I want you. No one else makes me feel this way, don't know what you do. Hold my hand, could you hold my hand, look me in the eyes. You and me, yeah, that's all I need, and I'll be alright. I'll be right here. I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer. I wanna stay here with you. All that we have is each other now.
Surprisingly, the top of my nightstand was actually pretty clean, but it was the inside that was the problem. As you can see here, it was an absolute disaster. I didn't even know what I had stored in here. This is one area of many around my home right now that I get so frustrated with when I try to find something and it's pretty much impossible because it is just a pile of junk. So I'm going to go through and take every single thing out of this drawer so I can clean it out and vacuum it. There was a ton of fur and dust in here as well. And then I'm going to grab some acrylic organizers so we can actually make this a functional space.
Tell me what you wanna do, I'll do anything. As long as I can be here with you, everything's alright.
When it comes to organizing a space, you definitely don't need to invest in organizers of any type, but I personally like to. I like the clear acrylic organizers. I do think they make the space look pretty and aesthetic, but they do also help it be a lot more functional. You are able to categorize and separate things a lot easier, and it just makes the end result look a lot more neat and tidy. But like I said, you don't have to if you don't have them. I did purchase these ones off of Amazon, and I think the entire set of them was around $25, which in my opinion is fairly inexpensive for acrylic organizers. But I am just going through and organizing separating the items I decided to keep into the separate categories. It mostly was chargers for our electronics and our phones and the kids' iPads and things like that. And then I did keep a little organizer of pens. I have one for miscellaneous items, and then I also have one for the blocks for the chargers.
Give me all your love. Give me love. Give me all your love. Give me all your love. Give me love. Give me all your love. Give me all your love.
Having everything categorized and organized and separated using these organizers definitely makes the space just look so much better. I did get rid of quite a bit of stuff, but the organizers definitely help. Now I am just putting some of the larger items into the bottom drawer, like one of my laptops, and I have my adult coloring book in here as well. And then the rest of the stuff I am just getting rid of. I have my baby monitor that I haven't used in years. I'm going to donate that. And then I also have every single cell phone that I have ever owned stored in this nightstand. I am not sure what I'm supposed to do with old cell phones. I don't know if you sell them or trade them in. I've just never done any of that. So I've just slowly accumulated cell phones, but it's definitely time to part ways with these.
Wide awake is the way that you left me, side by side in your car in the backseat. Wide awake is the way that you left me, oh. Now it's clear we are here back at your house, and I keep fading into the background. I'm wide awake, now you keep missing out for sure.
So like I said, Justin's nightstand was way worse than mine. I'm honestly not sure if I ever have decluttered his nightstand. So I am doing the same thing on this side that I did on mine. I'm just going to take every single thing out of here so I can clean the drawer as well. And then I'm going to get some organizers and start categorizing everything. I ended up throwing out way more from his nightstand than I did mine. He had paperwork in here dating back to 2018, which is actually the year we moved into this home, so it is probably safe to say I have never decluttered his nightstand since we have lived in this house.
All the ways you could reach me, but now you keep missing out on me, that's for sure. Take down your walls and let me, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, brick by brick, now let me, ooh, ooh, ooh. I wanna be right there by your side. I wanna be there, won't you be mine? Take down your walls and let me, yeah, brick by
I ended up grabbing a garbage bag because I did throw out a good majority of what he had in his nightstand. Like I said, there was a lot of paperwork, there was just a lot of garbage, there was a lot of broken things, and just nothing that we needed. So I decided to get rid of it so I would never think about it again.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now, there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within.
There is nothing better than a good before and after of a decluttering project. It is just so satisfying to see the difference, and Justin's side even ended up being color coordinated with black, white, and red, which was a happy accident, but it looks so much better than it did before, and it always feels so good checking another area off my list.
Beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb.
We had so many good camping trips this summer, and that is actually one of our favorite things to do as a family in the summer months is to camp, but it is officially time to put our trailer away for the winter. So I did get all of the trailer bedding out over the weekend and I got it all washed up, but once it was dry, I did just set it on the TV stand here and it's been sitting here for a few days. So I decided it was finally time to get it folded and put away. Once I fold everything, I am just going to grab a plastic container so I can store all of this in the basement until next season. Now we are going to be vacuuming the entire room, but first I do want to move Mac's crate so we can clean and vacuum underneath and around this area. He sheds an insane amount, as you can see here. I pull this crate out every single week and clean it, and there is always an unreal amount of fur. He also does get the walls furry and dirty, so I do just have a damp e-cloth and I'm just going to be wiping down the walls and the baseboards as well.
Wake up 2 p.m. I don't know where we are. Looks like a cheap motel with our clothes on the floor. I don't know how we ended up here. And we've been flying high. Are we going too far? I got no cash left and I'm losing my job over you. But I don't care about that. But I got you close and kinda hoping that one day we'll get the rhythm of it. Yeah, 'cause no one knows if we're just jumping out the window, try to cling onto it. You got me holding on to something I know I can't burn me down, but I don't care about it, 'cause I got you close and kinda hoping that one day we'll get the rhythm of it. I've been chasing you like the tail of a dog. I don't get no sleep when we kiss in the dark like we do. I just love the way it feels. Yeah, I know it's bad, but I can't resist. When I look in your eyes, I don't know what is real. All I know is that I could go anywhere, as long as you're with me.
I had so many more plans to get some more decluttering done today, but I do have Quinn home with me today. And it, of course, is a lot harder to get stuff done when she is home. So we are just going to keep going and I'm just gonna get done what I can get done today. I, of course, am a mom first. That is my priority, but I do have a very long list of to-dos to do today. So like I said, we're just going to keep going and I'm hoping it ends up being a very productive day. I also wanted to quickly show you this little cutie. How adorable is he? Justin's auntie actually made this. She has a business where she makes some holiday decor. I do have quite a few wreaths from her, but I saw this ghost and I absolutely loved it. I just want to show you guys because he is of course going to be put away in a few days. So I'm trying to enjoy him while I can, but I think he is my new little favorite piece of Halloween decor.
I'm drunk and I know it, but I got you close and kinda hoping that.
We are now going to be moving on into the dining room and the kitchen. Both were an absolute disaster, and I do not function well when my kitchen and the dining room areas are messy. I always like to make sure these areas are clean before the kids get home from school because that is when the second part of my day starts and I need to unpack their lunch kits and get their homework out and all of that kind of stuff. We start dinner, and there is nothing worse than trying to cook dinner and get things put away when the countertops are already messy. So I like to have a fresh start to make the new evening mess, if that makes sense. So we are just going to be starting off by cleaning off the dining room table, and my kids had a ton of their craft stuff out as per usual. So I am just going to put all of that away in this living room cabinet. This is where I store all of their art stuff and their craft supplies and things like that. This was also one of the areas I was hoping to declutter this day, but unfortunately I did run out of time, so I will add it to my list for next week.
I don't want your persona. I just wanna be real with you tonight. Can I have you alone now? I just wanna reveal what's on my mind. You tell me that you're used to no feelings, but I'm gonna change it. Yeah, you'll be awakened. 'Cause when my love starts working on you, it'll take your breath away like never before. And as soon as I go na 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 na, it'll make you feel that good love working on you, on you. You got a bad reputation. People tell me your heart is cold as ice, but I think you're amazing. I will show you the art of paradise.
These are the Martin's Family Pumpkins of 2024, and I feel like we all did a really good job on them from left to right. It's Quinn's, then mine's, then Rowan, Justin, and Grayson on the far right end. I had so much fun doing these as a family this year. All of the kids, minus Quinn, of course, can carve their own pumpkin. So it was really fun watching them be creative and pick which pumpkins they wanted to do and be able to do it themselves. So we all had such a blast on Saturday. We did make it a fun Halloween family day. We actually had trick-or-treating downtown in our city. So we went and took the kids to that. Then we came home, did pumpkins, had hot chocolate, and then had a family movie night. We probably should have watched a Halloween movie, but we ended up watching Inside Out 2, which we hadn't seen yet, and it was actually really good. Justin and I both enjoyed it, and the kids all enjoyed it as well. So it was a day that really filled my cup. I absolutely love having family days. We have been so busy and on the go constantly lately. So to be able to just have a day where we could all just hang out and do nothing but enjoy time together was really, really nice. I had a lot of dried on food on the countertop. It was mostly from the pumpkins, so I am just quickly using my scraper tool to get that all off. It is just so much easier and faster to scrape it off than try to scrub it off with a cloth.
Stepped into my life, such a magic feeling when you tore down my walls. I wish I could go back to right before you told me I'd try to change it all. But look at us now, could have gone so far. It hurts to realize we're parted. Yeah, look at us now, this is who we are. And I just know things will never be the same. We're like strangers again, again, again. Strangers again, again, again. We're like strangers again, again, again. I just know things will never be the same. We're like strangers again.
Now that the countertops are cleared off, we are going to be unloading all of the clean dishes out of the dishwasher so we can fill it back up with all of the dirty dishes. And I did mention earlier in the video that I am going to start decorating for Christmas in the next couple of days, and this is the earliest I have ever decorated for Christmas. I do usually wait until I would say at least a week after Halloween, not for any reason other than just have a little breather between holidays. But this year I am so ready to decorate. I did also used to wait until after November 11th, which is Remembrance Day here in Canada. I know a lot of people say you should wait until after Remembrance Day, but since I do film it and like to put it up on YouTube before a lot of you decorate, I have gotten earlier and earlier each year, and this year I think it's going to be November 1st. I can confidently say I will never decorate for Christmas before Halloween is over. I have seen some people already starting to decorate, which of course there's nothing wrong with that. To each their own. I am so happy for whatever makes you happy, but I just like to have my Halloween stuff out on Halloween. I would never want my Christmas tree up, but November 1st, I am so ready. I'm going to have the Grinch playing and Christmas music, and I'm ready to bake cookies and have all of the cozy, homey Christmas lights up and wrap Christmas presents and just all of the fun traditions and festivities that come along with Christmas. It is my absolute favorite time of year, and I just have such a good feeling that this year it's going to be a good one.
Through the door, I'm hit by the same old side, blinded by the lights, and I'm going through changes, but it's easier with you. I'm going through changes, and so are you. I live for the moments when you're around me.
The very last thing we are going to be doing in today's video is just remaking my bed with my clean and freshly washed bedding. I do not have a second set of sheets or a second duvet cover, but I probably should invest in a set. It would be so much easier to throw my bedding in the washing machine and then just remake it right then and there with the clean set that is stored in the closet. But I do not have a second set, so I do have to wait to wash it and dry it, and then I always forget it in the dryer until I am ready to climb into bed that night. So maybe I will do that. You guys will have to let me know down below if you just have the one set of bedding for your bed, or do you have multiple sets so you can have easy changing when you are washing it, because I am actually very curious if it's strange that I only have one set. But this is the last thing we are going to be doing in today's video. The day ended up being fairly productive. I'm not mad at how much I was able to get done. There was definitely a few things I had left on my list that I would have liked to do, but there is always tomorrow.
You can see, and I don't need any other help than you standing
going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for being here and spending this time with me. I think I'm going to get my pajamas on and read a book, or honestly I might even take a bath. I haven't taken a bath in a while and it has been the coldest, snowiest day today, and that's just perfect bath weather. But I really hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up down below, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you all next week with a brand new video. And I think next week's video is going to be my Christmas clean and decorate, which I'm so excited about. It is currently, when I'm filming this, it is currently Tuesday? No, Monday. It is Monday, so 3 days from Halloween. But when you guys see this, I believe it's November 1st, so the day after Halloween. So I'm probably decorating right now, and I honestly am so ready. I'm ready. Usually I will wait a couple days after Halloween, but I think this year might be the year that I decorate the next day, because something about this year, I can't wait. So let me know if you are in the same boat as me, but I will see you guys all next week. Bye. Hello you guys, and welcome back. Today's video is going to be another huge bedroom transformation. We are tackling Grayson's new room this time, and I am so excited to give him a special place of his own. Grayson did decide to go with a Pokemon theme, which originally did make me a little nervous. I did not want to do a little kid type room, as I do plan on these makeovers being a one and done thing. We are putting so much time and effort and money into them, and we just can't redo them each time they change their minds on things they like. But with that being said, he was adamant about it, and we of course did want him to have the room that he wanted, and he is obsessed with Pokemon, so we put a lot of thought into it, and we found a way to make his room Pokemon themed while also still being very tasteful and something that will grow with him. I am so proud of the way this room turned out, and I think you guys are really going to love it. We are starting the video off by just clearing out all of Quinn's stuff. As you can see, this was Quinn's nursery, and I just needed to get all of the girl stuff out of here so we can get started on prepping for paint and moving on with the makeover. You guys all seem to really love the girls' bedroom makeover video I posted last week, so thank you so much for all of the sweet comments and love on that video. Their room turned out so beautiful, and I really wanted to give Gray just as nice of a space, and I feel like we accomplished that, and I can't wait to share it with you all today.
All my thoughts are running around inside my head. Emotions keep coming, they're keeping me from thinking straight. Thought it would be different when I got my things in place. Stuck in this commotion, how come I ain't past this yet? I wanted me to be somebody else, another me that doesn't need your help. But if I'm honest, I don't think we got it.
Now that we have everything off of the walls and everything out of this room, I am going to be moving on to prepping the walls for paint. I'm just going in with some mud. I want the walls to be nice and flat and as perfect as I can get them. If I'm going to spend the time painting, I want them to look as good as they possibly can. So I'm just going through and filling all of the nail holes and all of the screw holes and any little bumps and nicks in the drywall. Once I was finished mudding all of the walls, I didn't want to bore you guys with too much prep work, so I'm just going to do a quick transition here, and we are going to be ready to start painting. I got all of the baseboards and the trim taped off. We sanded down all of the mud spots, and I also took off all of the outlet covers. I was really excited to start painting over all of the pink in here because of course this is going to be a boys' room now, and we did decide to go with Repost Gray by Sherwin-Williams. This is the gray we have throughout our entire house, and I just feel like it is the perfect gray for our home, and that's why we wanted to use it for Grayson's room as well.
Closer than before, and no one knows. just need you to know that I want you close.
If you ever are feeling the itch to switch something around in a bedroom of your home, I would highly recommend starting with just a new coat of paint. Never underestimate the changing of a paint color because it makes such a huge difference in any room of your home, even if it's just a feature wall. I am a big fan of feature walls. As you can probably tell throughout my home, I feel like we do incorporate a feature wall into every single room. And I will say here, I did start painting this wall on the far side, and you will notice me stop cutting it in because I forgot I was going to be doing this wall a completely different color, so I didn't want to waste my time cutting it in with the gray.
But I want you close. Ooh, ooh, closer than before. And no one knows.
Now that we are finished cutting in the bedroom, we are moving on to my favorite part of painting, which is rolling. I always love watching the rolling footage sped up. I feel like it is so satisfying, and I wish it was this quick in real life. Painting this bedroom probably took me about 4 hours between cutting in and rolling, and it did end up needing 2 coats of paint, but I won't show you the second coat of paint just because the first coat is what really makes the difference, and I don't want to bore you guys with too much painting footage. If you have not yet seen my girls' bedroom makeover video, I believe I posted it 2 weeks ago, I would highly recommend going and checking that one out as well. It is such a huge transformation, and I am so proud of what we did in that room. I will have it linked down below in the description box, and I am just so excited to have both of these bedrooms completed. They are 2 huge projects that I felt like were just looming over us, and now we can finally move on to the next room.
You blow my mind. I don't know if you know yet what's all around, and I'm dying to tell you. Well, I know that by now it is obvious, and that maybe I'm wasting my time, but I gotta try. The only reason I keep sneaking out.
So this was a couple days later, and I finished the 2 coats of gray on all 3 of the walls, and now we are going in to do the feature wall. The color for this wall is Carbon Copy by Bear. This is the exact same color we used in our office. I loved it so much in there, so again, we decided to bring it into this room as well. And with what we had planned for the decor and the wall pieces, I knew the dark color would just make the colors that we had coming into the room pop that much more.
Coming to get you. I've tried sometimes, but you're making me nervous. No, I've realized that I can't live without you. All my friends reassure that it's obvious, and that maybe I'm wasting my time, but I gotta try. The only reason I keep sneaking out.
Even though this is such a dark color over such a light one, I still do 2 coats of paint. I feel like no matter what colors I am painting a wall, I always like to do 2 coats just to make sure everything is covered and it looks as good as possible.
Best of luck. I'm gonna win your love. Coming to get you, dying to feel your touch. Wish me the best of luck. Coming to get you, wish me the best of luck. Trying to steal your hand. Coming to get you, coming to get you, coming to get you.
So this was a couple days later, and this was after I finished painting the second coat, and we are just going to quickly remove all of the tape off of the walls, put the outlet covers back on, and then we can move on to the most fun part, which is bringing in all of the furniture and starting to decorate.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess I dreamed
dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down.
I laughed so hard while editing this because it looks like Justin grabs Quinn and throws her across the room, but I promise you that is not what happened. Whenever we grab her or try to move her, she will fling herself onto the floor. Everyone was fine. We were all laughing, but I did just want to make sure I said that because it does look a lot worse than it was.
I really thought we had it covered. Was gonna patch up all the scars, but we smashed up all the parts. Oh na na na. Always knew that you were stubborn, but didn't know it'd be so hard to figure out who you really are. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river.
We didn't have to buy any furniture for Grayson's room, which was really nice. He already had a really nice bedroom set with the matching nightstand and the dresser. So we saved a lot of money with this makeover with not purchasing furniture. And we did actually DIY almost all of the decor in this bedroom. I'm really excited to show you guys once we are finished with building the furniture, but I am so proud of how we styled his room.
No us no more, we don't know. No us no more, no, no. We don't know. No us no more, we don't know. No us no more, we don't know. No us no more, no, no. Yeah. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, down, down. Baby going down, down, down.
I did end up purchasing Grayson the exact same box spring that I purchased for the girls' beds. It is a low profile one, and I love the way his fits into his bed frame. The entire box spring is pretty much covered by the base around the bed frame, and I really wish the girls looked like this. You guys gave me a ton of great ideas in that video on how to cover the box spring. And I did end up ordering a couple of white fitted sheets off of Amazon, and I'm hoping those cover the box spring perfectly.
No us no more, we don't know. No us no more, we don't know. No us no more, no, no. We don't know. No us no more, we don't know. No us no more, we don't know. No us no more, no, no.
I had a really hard time finding a bedding set that I liked. I really didn't want something that was insanely colorful and very little kid looking, if you know what I mean. I wanted something that would grow with him and was tasteful, and I found this one on a website called Bright and Roomy. I had never heard of them before, but I ordered it and I absolutely love it. It is a dark color and it has the Pokeball on it, but the Pokeball is made up of the shapes of all of the Pokemon characters, and I just thought it was super cute, and he really liked it, and it honestly was exactly what I was going for.
Cannot believe that what we had is now gone, and I don't know how to be alone. Feels like my heart is.
So now we are going to be moving on to all of the wall decor, which I am so excited about. I purchased these Pokemon prints off of Etsy, and we just got the digital files, and I had Justin print off the actual copies onto some canvas. I had so many questions about when we did this in the playroom. I did some of these canvas prints in there, and the way we were able to print on canvas is Justin's parents actually own a sign and decal shop, so they have some huge commercial machines, and one of the machines does print onto large rolls of canvas. So we do have the machines that we are able to do things like this. I don't think it's something you could do from home, but you might might be able to go somewhere like Staples or to a local sign shop in your area and see if they would be able to do this if it is something you are interested in. I personally love the look of the canvas, especially on the black wall, but if this wasn't an option for me, I would just print these onto cardstock or paper and put them into some nice frames.
Maybe we'll get there. I know you think of me 'cause I've been thinking about you. Even though we disagree on most things, baby. Maybe we'll get there. 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 Maybe we'll get there.
And if you were wondering what those red lines were across the wall, it is just a laser level. Justin was using it to try and hang these prints as straight as possible. Lining up 6 prints like this is very hard to do by eye, so having a laser level was a lot of help.
Get right back where we started. Yeah. 'Cause we don't talk that much and we don't share a lot. Even though there's nothing in it after lately. Maybe we'll get there. I know you think of me 'cause I've been thinking about you. Even though we disagree on most things, baby. Maybe we'll get there. 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 I'm a mess. Don't know how I got here, but I'm blessed.
Now that the prints are hung and his bed is made, we are moving on to the biggest project of the entire room. I found this Pokemon shelf online and I didn't want to pay the astronomical amount of money that they were wanting for it, so I thought maybe we could try and attempt to make one, and I will say we did an amazing job. I don't want to toot our own horn, but we really nailed this and I am so proud of how well this turned out. Props to Justin because he honestly did 90% of the work. He cut it, as you can see, freehand, and he made the perfect circle and he got all of the pieces out. And like I said, I am just very proud of how this shelf turned out. I'm just giving you an overview here of all of the pieces he cut out, and I'm going to go through and prime them all with just some white paint just so the wood doesn't peek through. And once the priming is done, I'm going to use a can of spray paint to paint each different color because we need the red, the white, and the black for the Pokeball.
It must be nice, you went and got a penthouse, all your friends partying is real loud. Brand new money with a brand new chest, still a baby bird price straight off the nest like you.
Also, please ignore how messy our garage is. That is a project for another day. You will notice I am doing a very thin coat of spray paint for my first coat, and honestly, I probably didn't shake the can enough looking back at these clips, but it all works out in the end. Don't worry, it definitely pulls together after I get about the 3rd coat of paint on them, but I will say I would never use spray paint on a project like this again. I would not recommend it. I originally got the spray paint because I thought it would be the best way to avoid brush strokes and texture on the shelf, but it caused us nothing but issues. We went wrong from the second we purchased it. We bought glossy spray paint, which was way too shiny. We did not like the way it looked, so we did try to buy top coat. It was a satin top coat, and that ended up leaving a residue over the paint, especially the black. It almost looked whitewashed. It was so frustrating. We had to repaint a lot of the pieces multiple times, and it just was not exactly what we were expecting. In the end, it does all look fantastic and it did pull together, but it was quite the headache. You will notice my outfit change multiple times as we are painting and working on the shelf, and it is because it took us so many days to get the paint right.
Those colorful eyes, they don't shine like they used to. The city don't want us, babe. We won't survive this place. The city don't want this. The city don't want this. And if I would lie and stay.
Now that everything is painted, we are going to start putting the Pokeball shelf together, and putting these shelves on was so stressful. You will also notice we're wearing gloves, and that's another issue with the paint we were having. The black paint was leaving fingerprints even though it was drying for over a day, and we just did not want to wait any longer. I wanted to throw the shelf together so I could get this video up. This is the biggest holdup we had, and this is why this video didn't go up last week. It was this shelf causing us so many headaches. But like I said, the shelves were so stressful to try to get even and level and flat. Because it is going on a circle, it was just really hard to measure everything. So we were kind of just eyeballing it and doing the best we could with measuring it out. And it did end up turning out perfect. And I am just so happy with how it looks in the end. You will also see my face here. I accidentally moved the shelf and I didn't want to tell Justin. He already had drilled the pilot hole and measured everything out, but luckily I only moved it a tiny bit, so it didn't make any difference.
And if I would lie and stay, it wouldn't feel the same. I won't lie, no, honestly, it doesn't feel like home, like home.
You will see me grabbing some containers and boxes to rest this shelf on. It was extremely heavy since it was solid wood and I couldn't get in there to hold it up. It was very awkward, but luckily we were able to balance it on these shelves to get it hung. We did just drill this directly into the wall and we just made sure we hit the stud since, like I said, it was heavy. And then I'm going to go through with a little bit of paint to cover the screws that we used to drill it into the wall.
Doesn't feel like home, like home, home, feel like home, a faded mind, so we stay blind, home.
Now that the shelf is on the wall and the screws are dry, we are going through and just collecting all of Grayson's little Pokemon characters and his Legos and all his little tins and collectibles, and we're just setting these up on his shelf. You will see him beside me as we do this because he, of course, wanted a say on where everything goes. I purchased this lamp from HomeSense, and I think I'm going to do the same thing with this lamp as the girls have with theirs. If you saw their makeover video, they have some flowers and butterflies with little magnets attached so they can kind of decorate the lamp as they choose. I'm going to try and find some little Pokemon figurines. The only one we have right now is this Pikachu, but I'm going to glue some magnets onto these so Grayson can also decorate his lamp, and it's a great way to customize as a lamp, but then as he gets older, he can take the magnets off and the lamp can still be used. My mom got Grayson this Pokemon poster that lists a ton of Pokemon, and she actually put it in a frame, which I love because now it looks like artwork instead of just a poster. I also purchased Grayson a new laundry basket. I wanted to switch this one out for the dinosaur one just to have something a little more neutral. You guys will have to let me know down below in the comments what your favorite part of Grayson's new room is. If I had to choose one thing, I would probably have to pick the Pokemon shelf just because we did make it and put a ton of effort and love into it, and I am very proud of how it turned out. But let me know down below what your favorite piece is. Okay, you guys, that is going to be everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I am so happy with how everything turned out, and I'm honestly so happy to be done both of these bedrooms. These things have taken up all of our free time over the last 6 to 8 weeks, and I'm just so happy they're done and we can move on to the next project. The kids are also so happy with how everything is, and honestly, that's all you can ask for, and that's all I wanted. But thank you again for watching, and I will see you all next week with a brand new video. Bye, guys.